Okay, so this I'm just going to show the problem I have with the mouse input, and switching between keyboard and mouse and being able to switch on and off the mouse cursor. So in my player controller, um, I've just changed this setup to use the tick event based on a suggestion on the answer hub, which kind of gives me the same problems, except that the tick event doesn't work during pause. So when I use it in my main menu, it'll work fine because the game isn't paused, but when I use it in my escape menu, the game gets paused and the tick event doesn't work anymore. But I'm going to use this to demonstrate the problem. So pretty much all I do is I check the mouse X against itself with a slight delay. So if it moves, then the delayed amount obviously won't match the non-delayed amount, and therefore it's moving. So if it happens to move, so there I do the comparison, and if it happens to move, then I'm not using the keyboard, and therefore I want to show the mouse cursor. And then on the use keyboard, on my keyboard input, my gamepad input as well, if I push up or down, I set use keyboard to true. So then the mouse cursor should be switching off. So when I play, so now I'm going into my escape menu, so now the game is paused. So I'm pushing up and down on the keyboard, and obviously the mouse cursor is doing nothing because the game is paused. So I'm just going to unpause the game just to demonstrate. So that's fine. So now I'm moving the mouse and the cursor comes back, pushing up and down, and it's fine, right? So now I'm going to move, okay, so now I've moved the mouse. Now I'm going to click the mouse button. Now I've just pushed the button once, and now when I push up and down, the mouse doesn't update anymore. Now I'm moving it. Now it updates the previous update. So now I'm moving it again, and now I'm moving the mouse and it's not coming back. So now I have to click once, so now I'm clicking once, moving it, and now the mouse comes back. And now I'm pushing the keyboard, and now it goes away again, moving it, comes back. So now you can see, like, as soon as I use the menu, so I'm going into options, now I have to click to get into options. So now the mouse cursor is still there, it's fine. But now I'm using the keyboard, and the mouse cursor doesn't disappear. So now if I move the mouse, it disappears, because that's what it was supposed to do the last time. So now I have to click once again for the normal behavior to come back. So using keyboard, using mouse, click once, now it's broken. Using keyboard, doesn't disappear. Moving mouse, disappears. So now I have to click once again to bring it back. So that's the problem. So every time I click, so if I, as long as I don't ever click, it works fine. If I click once, it's broken. If I click again, so that's like that seems to be the behavior that I'm getting, and that's exactly the same behavior that I'm getting by using my other setup is when I'm using mouse X event to actually detect mouse movement. So I'm just checking that value against 0. So if it's not 0, it's moving. If it's 0, it's standing still, and then I can use the keyboard. So that was my original setup, where as soon as I move the mouse, I switch on the cursor. And I've taken out on the keyboard side, but on the keyboard side, as soon as I push the keyboard, it's supposed to switch off the cursor. So, and exactly the same problem happens, where it would work and not work, and work and not work, and it's like, there was no combination of anything that I could set up where it would just always work, or never work for that matter. It's like it kind of goes between the two. So that's pretty much the problem I have with the mouse input, where, like I said, In the older versions of the engine, I think in version 4.1 or 4.2 was the last version that it actually worked correctly. Anything after that, it doesn't work correctly. So again, except obviously for the tick event, and there's nothing I can do to make this thing tick. There's no setting for tick being paused, and even if I say, even if I tell the player controller to be tickable while paused, so I set it to be tickable when it's paused. So for whether I set it here or so as soon as I push escape, I can set it there as well. But I'm going to set it here for right now. I mean, I've tried it on the escape and it doesn't work. I haven't tried it on there, so I'm going to try it there now. So go paused. Okay, so it doesn't tick when paused. So you know, won't be able to use the tick event anyway. But I mean, this setup works. The mouse, because you can pick up this value even while the game is paused, right? So this I can say execute when paused, and that will actually execute while it's paused. The only problem is when I set this flag, it doesn't always seem to set correctly. It'll also happen sometimes then if I use the keyboard to get back into the game or something like that, and then the mouse will still be floating on the screen when you're playing the game, and then you have to just tap the mouse to make the cursor disappear. So yeah, so the cursor, the way that it works, where you can either show or hide the cursor, it doesn't just work when you set it. You can't just set it in any way. You kind of have to use the mouse to set things. Otherwise, it doesn't seem to set properly. So yeah, so that's the problem I'm having with it. I hope that explains it a little bit better. If not, then I guess I'll try and explain it in a different way. But I think that's pretty clear. So yeah, that's it.